Good morning, guys. Good morning, wherever you're joining us from. Good morning. Good morning. Happy to have you all here with us this Friday morning when we're hopeful for an easy morning. We're hopeful for a quiet morning. Do let us know what we're going to have today, but grateful to have each and every one of you join us this morning. Let us know, first and foremost, that you're hearing us loud and clear. Gisela, Deborah, Humi, Giselle, good to have all of you with us this morning. Wherever you're joining us from, share the light for us. Smash that emoji button as well. It's Friday the 17th, they tell us. The 17th day of October already. So we're over the halfway mark and we're heading down. You see why the place getting dark quick? You see why the place getting dark quick? It's coming on to Christmas. It's coming on to Christmas. Homie says hit that thumbs up button. Y'all be like homie, man. Listen to the admonition, the encouragement, the charge. Listen. Good to have all of you. This Friday morning, Elizabeth Narayan, this Friday morning, how is the weather in Sparkle City? Shasha, or Shay, what is it? Good to have you too. Mandy Comments, good to have you, Latchman. Folks, when we're not on, we're not lightning. Rest assured, we got we hands crossed, we foot playing footsie. When we're off, it's because business got to be done differently. We're doing something to bring credible and valid information to you, the Guyanese people. Good to be out here with you all this morning. I'd love to hear from some of you all this morning. I'd love to hear from some of you all what's been bothering you. What bothering you this morning? What in your mind? Send us a voice note. It's Friday. Let's have a light day. Let's have a very, 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 very light day. But before we start, that's what I want to do this morning. I want to hear from y'all. Y'all I miss y'all. Without knowing how or when or why or from where, I miss y'all. Y'all know how it goes. So let us start there this morning. What's on your mind? And as we go into that, as y'all begin to send us those voice notes to let us know How you doing? You could just be to say hi. You ain't gonna get a problem. You know? You ain't gonna get a problem. Could be something delightful. But I want to hear some of your voices. Please and thank you. Elizabeth, you can send us anything today. Folks, we put it up in a second. But as we get there, I heard former Finance Minister Winston Jordan talking recently about this new Harbour Bridge. How the bridge come around, how it go around. Some people don't want to tell the whole story now. He know the whole thing top to bottom. Take a look and take a listen as we begin this morning. FYI family, happy to have all of you here.
The new Demerara Harbour Bridge resulted from feasibility study done by the David Ridge administration, says former Finance Minister Winston Jordan.
Very soon after the coalition government came into power in 2015, we started to examine the modernization of the country. And as told in our first budget and elaborated in our second budget, we talked about bridging the coastline with the hinterland.
Speaking on the podcast Sunday morning, he said that the contract was awarded for a feasibility study and design of the bridge, now known as the Barrett Jaguar Harbour Bridge.
This is the very contract that the PPP government, after August 2020 in their installation, sought to have David Patterson charged, and it's still before the courts. This is the same contract that the PPP, the same study and design that the PPP has used to defend themselves against attacks, that no study was done for the existing bridge.
Of course, the new bridge varies slightly from the original plan, according to Jordan. The new bridge is not sited at Houston. It has 4 lanes and is far more costly, says Jordan. Also of interest is that the government changed the specifications of the tender. Instead of the model that would see the bidder build, fund, and maintain the bridge, the government undertook the funding.
The government, in the midst of negotiating with the people who built this bridge, took over the financing of the bridge.
Yeah. Valid, credible information. I'm certain you got a little better perspective on that. Yes, I would love to, I'd love to see a government that says, hey, look, we want to thank the last administration for conceptualizing this project, right? Beginning the financing aspect of it, but we were privileged to carry to completion. They won't give a word. They won't give a word to the last government. If you allow them, you would think that they did it start to finish all on their own. But you see, they came in there, saw a couple of things, and then went from there. Do let us know. Keep reminding us if you're hearing us loud and clear. Right? I really want to hear from y'all. Send us a voice note. Just let us know how you all doing this morning. A very good morning to each and every one of you. Wherever you're joining us from, you're now gathering yourself. It's a Friday morning. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have it all together. That's all right. That's cool. You got life and so on. You could get it together. All right. You got another day to get it right. And we can get it right. We are going to get it right. I'd love to hear from y'all. What's on your mind? So much happening in the news out there, But if I tell y'all something, y'all gonna vex. Some of y'all get some withdrawal symptoms, So much happening out there. We had a full week. This morning, a number of things making the headlines. I saw the watching Starbuck News. It says the Cuban envoy warns Caribbean at risk amid U.S. military escalation. By now you know that the CIA is doing some work in Venezuela. This was confirmed by no other than U.S. President Donald Trump himself quite recently. CIA operatives, they're doing some work in Venezuela. Folks, we're in a bad way if this thing goes out. I just want to tell y'all that. We in a very bad way if this thing goes south. A very, very bigly bad way if it goes south. I think I have one of my favorite persons on this morning, Ricardo. Let's hear a little bit from Ricardo what's on his mind this morning. Then we take it from there. Folks, don't call, right? You see that VN in front of the number there? That's a voice note, VN. It's not CALL. Don't call us. Send a voice note. It helps us to be more efficient.
Hi, Brother Sherrod. Blessed
Good morning. Blessed morning to you as well.
morning, my brother. And blessed good morning to the entire viewing audience. Brother Sherrod, you're saying that you love to hear from the people this morning. Really don't we mind? And it's a good thing to ask. It's a good thing to ask. But it plaguing me up to this morning. It's still plaguing me from since when it started.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that is on my mind is how did we reach? Seeing all the evil, all the disrespect, all the corruption, all the shenanigans by this wicked PPP government, and hearing the combined call by our political representatives, how did we end up in the end from wanting to see the backs of the PPP to spread the votes, and to, like, you find, we see those who we hold in high esteem on the opposition end, cheering on the accumulation of, or the getting of just one seat to be in parliament, a seat that is accustomed to, a seat where you was before, to go back there to sit on a seat as a representative all alone, claiming to represent the people. How did we get there, Brother Sherrod? How did we get there? It's a fact that in the coalition arm, we have more intelligent, by far, intellectuals in there. And still, those who we claim to have more intelligence than is like they outplay us. Like they happen to outplay us. All because, to my view, selfishness. All because of selfishness. Look where we ended up. Couple days before an election, we find our sister moving away, couple days to form our own party to gain what? To get what? To do what for the people? We find that our brother with the whole AFC out in a corner. We find our sister, Simona Brooms, in a corner by ourselves. And the whole objection, the whole objective was to see the back of this evil and wicked government. Look where we at now. We got to run into court to ask for to get representation. We lose, we got to end up paying money, we got to end up all of these bad things. All because of selfishness and greed. And that is what on me mind up to a day like today. And Brother Sharon, your brother gonna keep calling it out until those guilty ones, those disrespectful guilty ones, respond until they respond.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
All right. Ricardo didn't say anything that's a lie there, you know? All that happened. All that happened. When they ask the question, how did we get here? It reminds me of one of my favorite films, Lion in Winter. It's one of those period films about a king of England. He was married to a woman he loved initially, but then they got toxic, man. And that's a question. She asked him, she said, Henry, how did we get here? You know, Peter O'Toole and Katharine Hepburn. How did we get here from where we started? You know, said the hottest love got the coldest end. How did we get here? And he said, hand in hand, step by step. That's how we get here. Hand in hand and step by step, we came. And some people are concerned. They're going down the road. They're going down the road like it's normal, Ricardo and viewers. Like it's normal things. Normal things. Right? Normal things. Everything all right.
Good morning, Sherrod.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
Because everything is well.
It is well.
I'm just here to make a complaint. Recently the government has constructed concrete roads in the vicinity of Western Penitence housing scheme that link to the Coconut Walk and Calendar Street. However, since the construction of the road has been done, what has happened is that they construct the road over the drainage. Now, you find that the area of Western Penitence, that will be to the right side of the vicinity to the area when you're coming from the Island Bridge. And if you're coming from the back, it will be on the left side. The drainage to that area is clogged, blocked. It's not flowing, smell, all sorts of stuff. I don't know the relevant authorities to come and get a check to see what needs to be done, because when the rain starts falling, the rain don't really have people fall much. There's a smile and water coming in your yard because the water not flowing. This is not healthy at all. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, my brother. Thank you so much for bringing that to attention. I'm going to check on it. Some other folks coming through. Going to have all of you.
Good morning, Sherrod. So
morning.
I'm so happy to be able to make a contribution this morning. Something that is bothering me, and viewers out there can speak to it, and they can also, weigh in and begin to speak to their communities. How do we, as a nation, compare a candidate to hold political office like the leader of the opposition, who is the head of the sitting government? That's the equivalent in terms of the office. How do we compare a person without a scandal? I'm going to call it out. Like the leader of the opposition, Mr. Norton. How do we compare him to the win leader? How do we? I'm sorry, I hold no brief for neither of these men. I have never sat and spoken to Mr. Norton, but I am a citizen of this country. And I'm saying, just in terms of the boxes that you tick for eligibility for public office, what has gone wrong with the minds of the Guyanese electorate that we will want to consider someone who is accused, sanctioned, and now indicted to hold public office? What is wrong with those persons who were APNU MPs and ministers? How can they align themselves in with someone that has these charges hanging over them and the disclaimer on my part, innocent until proven guilty, but yet still we're speaking of a public office.
Yeah.
Long story, make it short, Sherrod. I am asking for the viewers to speak to this and begin to maybe kind of like deprogram these youths that are running after win. I'm sorry, I am calling it out this morning because they have nothing to do. How can the APNU manifesto offering young people so many opportunities and the win manifesto offering nothing new, nothing in terms of policy be compared? Right now, somebody has got to rescue these youths that are running after win. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Survival of the fittest. That's the name of the game. The Trinidad and Calypso says, survival of the fittest. You know, people run over because they got to survive. They got to survive. You know, they got people who are telling me, oh, you got to work with the Alliance for Change. You got to make them great again, Sherrod. And then tomorrow I see them, they win. Really? What happened there, man? No, Sherrod, you got to make it AFC great again. You know, make it great again. Then I see it run over my... They're quick, man. 5 parties in 5 years. They're quick. Nimble on the feet. You know, nimble. But you know, my sister asked, how come? How could you do X or Y? Sanctions against no sanctions. Indictments against no indictments. And this is not new. You know, those of you who are people of faith, like Carrie back a little bit, I'm preaching today. You know, they had a set where they said, jail Jesus, give us Barabbas, the murderer, the thief, the rapist. I said, yeah, keep Jesus. He dull and boring, he handsome, he comely. Give us Barabbas. Look, when we get, we pay for we's balling out, you know. We's balling out. I see somebody say there, they vote for cash grant. But cash grant don't come yet. Jail Jesus, give us Barabbas. I think shocked the nation. Yeah. Barabbas had sanctions, criminal charges, fraud charges, you know, all of that. Indictments. I ain't said Mr. Norton is Jesus. Or anybody on this side for that matter. But you catch. You catch, right? That's how. That is how. You know. A friend of mine had touched me a long time ago. Bought me a lovely book of quotes for a birthday many years ago. Right? And I remember this quote in this little book like this, with quotes beautifully laid out. And one of the quotes says, we seek the teeth that made the wound. You know, you talk about all the accusation. We seek the teeth that made the wound. The very thing that oppress and this and that. How come a man who gets shot up in his back multiple times with pellet can go and say when the men that held the trigger, this is my brother. You understand me? Nothing new, but we got to find a way through all of it. We keep talking to our people, you know, keep pointing the way, the straight and the narrow. See, some of you say handouts. They like too much of handouts. Handouts. They like too much of handouts. Well, we can know. You know, like he said, all of our actions got consequences, you know. You better believe it. You better believe it. All of it. All of our actions.
Good morning, Mr. Duncan. Yours. No, my issue and my problem is the Demerara Harbor Bridge, the new Demerara Harbor Bridge. I have a problem with the name of the bridge. The bridge is not supposed to be named Barajagio Bridge because I want to know if Barajagio personal money built the bridge. The bridge needs to be renamed. They could throw something out there and let school children throughout the country put out something and then they get a name for the bridge. That is school children name the bridge. How is it possible that you could be naming a bridge after somebody that is still alive? What manner of madness is that? I don't understand it. And secondly, what I want to know if it is legal for the government to be signing away on contracts and spending money recklessly when Parliament is not yet convened. It makes sense to me. Thank you, Sharon.
All right. Thank you as well. All right. All right. Thank you, Marlon. Thank you for that. You see that? Yeah. I don't know if you noticed, but soon as that bridge catch the name, my God, trials and travails, traffic backup, car crashing the bridge, bus car crashing the bridge.
Good morning, Sharon.
Morning.
And viewers and listeners. Good morning to everyone. What kind of music Jack do you really listening to? Because he was playing the music all along with the Mohammeds, and he himself and his friends and family and favorite. Now the music more than the ears. He coming out to talk mouthful of crap. Sharon, me again. Until now, North Ronville getting slow water. Yesterday and day before yesterday, we didn't get in none at all. Last night, Sujbaj went out by the well road there. They went digging again, digging up. I don't know what they're digging up. How many times they done dig up the well? What a fix. Last night, the well road was real.